When I went to London to study with William Bennett, I had a cheap student flute, and after a few months, Wib said, I cannot teach you anymore with this flute. This instrument is limiting your ability, you need to get a better instrument. And I said, well, I would love to, but I have no money to buy an instrument, so at this point I have to stick to this instrument. And he said, well, I just got this prototype from ALTUS. It's a new model made with powdered silver, and they made a 445 pitched flute for concerts in Germany. That was the idea. And it was sent to him from the factory. He played on it for a little bit, but it was, of course, too high to play in London. So he said, if you like, you can borrow this flute, but then you have to change the open G sharp system. And I said, well, how long can I borrow it for? And he said, at least as long as you're studying with me. So I said, okay, that sounds good. So I took his flute and I started practicing on it, and it took about 2 weeks to change to open G sharp, and I got to love the system, I must say. You don't get a doubling key for the G sharp. These two keys are independent, so it eliminates also the E mechanism purpose, because when you play top E, you just add this key manually. Anyway, this was the original Böhm system, which later got changed to the closed G sharp. So I borrowed the flute and I practiced on it for a few months, and it really completely changed the way I play, and my sound opened up, and it was a very big change. In the beginning, it took me some time to get to appreciate that flute, because when you start first it's new, but after that I completely fell in love with it. And in the end of my first year, I went to the Kobe competition. I was playing on that instrument. That's when I met Tanaka-san for the first time. Also, he was in the competition listening. And we have a long relationship with Tanaka-san ever since that time, which was 2001, so 12 years ago. Nowadays I go to Japan every year and we meet. I went to the Azumina factory a few times also. Yeah. Well, I've tried many different flutes over the years. I always like to go to booths and try, but I never find anything quite as good as this. I think it matches me personally, because the PS model has very dense tone. It's a different material, it's 997 silver, and Tanaka-san explained to me the technology behind this, which actually ALTUS invented. They make first the powder and then they put it in the oven together with the pressure. I don't know exactly, correct me if I'm wrong, but it creates a completely different metal which is behaving very different from regular silver. It's much harder, and the sound also, it's almost between silver and platinum. There's this density in the tone. So I like that, and it's a very deep sound. Now I think other makers started making that too, but I didn't quite get as convinced to this.